Let me begin, first of all, by saying very sincerely that I always believed that God answers prayers. But my presence here this morning and listening to you, Madam Chief Justice, confirms that indeed God does answer prayers, because I always prayed that I would live to see a day when I would hear the leadership of the judiciary speak the way you have spoken this morning. For the short time since your appointment, Madam Chief Justice, I've had occasion to attend one or two of your meetings. And I must say, quite frankly, that I'm much more hopeful and really grateful, first of all, as a citizen of this country and as an active member of the executive branch of government, that what we have all been longing for, namely a collaborative and constructive engagement framework of working within government, has finally arrived. The Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government plays a critical role in the country's justice system. A number of our institutions, starting with the Correctional Services, the National Police Service, which includes the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, works very closely with you. That's why my colleagues, the Inspector General of Police is here, the DCI, and Madam Omondi representing the CGP. Secondly, Madam Chief Justice, I wear a second hat, namely, I chair the National Development Implementation Coordination Committee of Government, where we have had several frustrations before in terms of what the executive branch would like to achieve, and then there are certain challenges in the courts of law. But I would like to spend time on the more hopeful things and say this morning, Madam Chief Justice, how prepared and ready we are to support you and support the entire judiciary to move to the next level. I frankly believe, and I think I like to be as honest as always, that there are many things that the judiciary ought to have done, or there are many things that we should have supported the judiciary to do up to this moment, but many of them have been affected because we didn't have a framework of collaborative and constructive engagement. Constructive cooperation and constructive engagement is not compromise. We equally serve one people and one country, and that's why I'm really gratified to hear what you have just said, Madam Chief Justice. There are no people, there are no Kenyans who belong to the judiciary, or Kenyans who belong to the executive branch, or Kenyans who belong to the legislative arm of government. We serve the same people. And it behooves us all, when we make decisions, first of all, to share resources and support the judiciary to achieve certain things. I pointed out to you, and I'm prepared now to say publicly here to you, Madam Chief Justice, that I would like to work with the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary to see how we can rationalize some of the properties that we have in the executive branch to benefit the judiciary. The judiciary of a great country like this should not be moved out as we are trying to move the Judiciary Training Institute from a government building. We should find a home for the Judiciary Training Institute, and we have enough properties that are occupied by the executive branch of government that we can share with the judiciary, so the judiciary has a proper, decent, dignified home to locate its Judiciary Training Institute, so that the judiciary operates with the honor and dignity it deserves. It's embarrassing that we're evicting the Judiciary Training Institute from a building, and as though they are not part of government. It is also even more frustrating, as I pointed out to you at breakfast, that we have properties in some cities in this country that are just lying idle while judges who preside over courts in those places live in all manner of places. I would like to propose to you, Madam Chief Justice, that from this day forward, let's work together. We will also be happy as the executive branch of government to have the judge who presides in Kisumu living in a good government house. Those houses don't belong. Those houses don't belong to the executive branch. They have been bought, and resources have been spent by the people of Kenya. And there is no good reason, or there is no earthly reason, as President Kibaki would say, why we should not share those resources with the judiciary. My brother Nuruddin Haji, our DPP, indeed I agree with you, has done very well in the last 3 years, developing the Prosecutors Training Institute and the facility that he has done and expanded, partly out of that constructive engagement. I repeat, constructive engagement and interaction is not compromise. We do not intend, and on this particular one I can authoritatively and confidently speak on behalf of the executive branch, although I'm not the spokesman of the executive branch, it's His Excellency the President, that there is no intention on the part of the executive branch to encroach on the independence of the judiciary. But we must be reasonable people and work and support the judiciary as we intend to do. So I am, first of all, confirming our readiness, Madam Chief Justice, to work with you. And I want to challenge your staff, especially your technical staff. Let's get together and get stuff done for the good of our country. There are many opportunities lying out there. Now is the time to make use of those opportunities to develop and enhance the capacity of the judiciary, because the delivery of justice will not just happen on its own, it's got to be also supported. So I will be working with my colleagues, especially on this particular issue, to ensure, Madam Chief Justice, that we support your quest to expand the infrastructural capacity of the judiciary. Secondly, we have discussed the issue of security because it's critical to my department. And we have agreed, Madam Chief Justice, that effective now, in fact, we already started this work because you demanded we do it 2 weeks ago. My colleague, the Inspector General, is here. I can announce that we have now started the work of restructuring the security services to the judiciary so that we will give the judiciary an unprecedented attention in terms of the security backup we will give you. We would like the judges and magistrates and all judicial officers to feel safe, to feel secure, and to feel well protected by the people of Kenya through those that the tax payers pay, who are ourselves. I suggest, Madam Chief Justice, that there are so many things that are pending here. In terms of traffic, we're also interested in the instant fines. We have been working on the instant fines method for quite a while. I'll be very happy if we progress this further. We've worked very well. I've seen 1 or 2 judges who have been working with us before on matters related to prison and probation. We would like to continue to do this and ensure that we are useful and worthwhile partners in the provision of justice to our country. As I congratulate you, I want to very sincerely speak, as I said, on behalf of the executive branch, to say how grateful we are that we're now hearing phrases we have been longing to hear from the judiciary, that we are serving one people, that constructive cooperation is not compromise, that engagement one with another does not mean encroachment of the independence of the judiciary, that we are here to support your work and ensure that Kenyans are best served. And we know where the lines are drawn by the Constitution. We will not walk beyond those lines, I promise you. Finally, in 2019, when the President issued the Executive Order number 1 that created the National Development Implementation Coordination Committee, a subcommittee of cabinet that I led with the membership, including the Honorable the Attorney General, met with the then Chief Justice. And I pointed out that we had national government projects totaling to the amount of about 186 billion stalled in all manner of court proceedings. The mentions that you talked about, the many, orders that stop procurement in government, and so on and so forth. on this particular subject, I could speak until the cows come home, because this is where we have completely hurt ourselves in terms of development. Things never move. Procurement in the public service has become a hideout for cartels. And when they want to manipulate the process of procurement, it's very simple. They go and fetch a court order and then nothing moves. So we have projects strewn across the country where nothing is happening. I said then, and I would like to say again, Madam Chief Justice, that we will never be dumb enough to ask the judiciary to give us a ruling in our favor. All we are just asking is that a decision be made. Even if that decision is against us, it will at least enable us to move to the next level and save the money that is held out there that no one is using. That is why we have so many incomplete projects, that's why we have so many incomplete buildings, incomplete hospitals. Recently, we negotiated with the Council of Governors and persuaded them to try and get out of court on matters we can resolve. And I'm incredibly gratified to hear you, Madam Chief Justice, say the same, that there's no point of us taking each other to court. When we can sit down and resolve issues even between branches of government. Because that way then, we serve our people better, we save resources, we get some work done. So as we go forward again, I would like to plead that we look at how we can best free public resources to be used for the development of our country. And we will not encroach the independence of the judiciary. We will be fine and we will respect all the orders that you make. I would like you to take us up on our offer, and one thing that I want to start working on personally myself in my capacity as chairman of NDICC with the office and the chief registrar is to capacitate the judiciary through supporting the judiciary's infrastructural capability. It is not right. And those houses that we have, government houses, we have, for example, in Kisumu, I would like we support the judiciary to have the judges properly accommodated. If government property that we have in Mombasa, we should support the judiciary to have that property and be accommodated. I already told my brother, the Inspector General, let's look around even the properties we have within the police service and get a property where the Judiciary Training Institute can be located, and we will all support you because you have a fantastic vision to build a proper ultra-modern facility called JTI, and we will be happy to have the judiciary operate that way.